Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It's Jimmy Trades here, ready to walk through the markets on this Tuesday, 28th of January. Remember to subscribe to the channel, guys. Remember to like the video, turn on that notification bell, and also feel free to comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on the content. If there's anything that you want answered, feel free to drop those comments and I'll happily respond. Let's move over to the calendar. We'll also have a quick look at the gold trade I took yesterday in the New York AM session. Do a quick recap on that as well. Okay, so Tuesday, 10 a.m., we have CBB consumer confidence. So you might want to wait until news drops to seek a position. I'll be looking from my hunting hours, which is 8:30. So I'll be looking for that. But if I'm in a position prior to that, then I'll consider closing my position once the news drops, just in case the volatility pushes the trade where I don't want it to, which is towards my stop loss. All right, let's jump over to the charts. A reminder too, guys, that there's only a couple of days left to grab that 40% off deal from My Funded Futures, at 40% off the Starter Plus account for new users, and also 20% off the Starter Plus 50K account for existing users. So there's only a few days left. On the 31st of Jan, that deal ends. So be sure to jump on and grab an account from My Funded Futures using code Jimmy. And of course, you can always get 50% off your Apex evals with code Jimmy as well. That's when they're not running a sale. When they're running a sale, you can still use code Jimmy, obviously. But we'll always keep you updated when there is a sale as well. But you can always get 50% off if there is no current sale. All right, let's move to NQ on the daily. Actually, quite a crazy move yesterday. Now, be remiss of me to think that we're not going to keep moving lower based on this move. We did buy back up through AM and PM session yesterday. We do have the gap here, the opening gap for a draw on liquidity. But what I'm going to be looking for is if we're not heading for these equal lows, then I'm going to want to see a change in the state of delivery. In other words, looking for price to move higher. So based on the information here, I'd still be considering price to move lower. As we move lower, if we do in fact move lower, then I'd be watching for a 50% level of this wick to be tested. And if there is a reaction there, let's keep our bearish bias for the time being. And we'll have a look at the hourly and see what is going on here. So we did get this move higher. We had an inversion on the hourly that was tested. So we've found support there as well. Continued to move higher. We haven't really had a displacement that I'd be looking for a change in the state of delivery. We may be seeing that now. We still don't have displacement. I do like to see displacement. Price could just be seeking out the high here. That's the New York AM session high. Price could just be seeking this level out and then potentially frame a reversal. So not convinced yet, just based on the information here, that price is in fact going to continue higher just yet. So I'll be watching this level in particular now that we're reaching this level to see what happens there. Currently, price has moved 58% of the average daily range. So there's room to continue to move higher based on the average daily range. Also, we could still continue to move lower. Let's see what ES tells us. Most likely a similar story. Okay, so ES did get a bounce out of this bullish FEG. And we do have this opening range gap here for our draw. So down on the hourly, we are getting to see some displacement here. So we do have a change in the state of delivery here for ES. And we've already pushed through the highs. Okay. So we could in fact see price move into this gap level here. Watching for this change in the state of delivery as a level for a retest. We're going to want to see this level hold for price to continue to move higher. First draw here for me is this level. Okay, we've got a swing high here. This is all low resistance liquidity, all these value swings. So price is looking to continue higher. So interestingly, I will have a bullish bias on ES. And obviously ES and NQ are correlated assets. But just because my bias is different on both doesn't mean they both won't move in the same direction or potentially opposing directions. It does happen from time to time. But ES may very well just drag NQ along with it. Okay, oil on the daily. I'm looking for price to move to the low here. We had quite a bearish move. Obviously, we've still got this bearish price structure here. We just about closed through this bullish FEG. But what we can see is that with today's price, we've retested 50% of the previous day's range. And it looks like we may continue to move lower here. And this would be my target, this low. Bearish for oil. Now, a quick look at the hourly. We can see insight to order flow. Swing point candle closed back inside the range, sending it lower. Retested this bearish FEG and continued to move lower. We've come up now into a premium of this dealing range. This is a premium and we're getting a reaction from that level. You can see that if we look at the 30-minute chart here, price is respecting these opposing candles. After we got to close through that level, we close through, price has come back up and is respecting. So a good potential for price to move lower here. Asia, London lows are mitigated, low resistance liquidity. We've only moved 38% of the daily range as well. Moving over to Euro futures, and I must point out while we're here that the calculation does need to be updated for currency futures. So on the ADR 2.0 indicator that I'm working on, you'll notice that this ADR is not correct. Okay, it's only at the moment working well or seamlessly for your NQESCL, gold, YM, RTY, RB, those sorts of things. Okay, I'm still working on getting this right. So if you look at this, when it's on a currency futures contract, it's not quite where it needs to be just yet. So just so you have that information. On the daily, we have price was unable to reach this high. We swept. In fact, we had a fairly swing here and we couldn't even close through this bearish FEG. So we pushed up into this bearish FEG. Then we also closed back inside the range of the previous candle on this Monday candle, and we're moving lower. I'm not surprised to see that. This is insight to order flow, and we continue to move lower here. Internal to external, I'd be looking for price to reach down to the low here. Inside a bullish FEG, so potential here for a strong reversal if we get it. The bearish for 6E. Looking at gold now. On the daily here, the price did move lower. We swept this low. So current information. We swept a daily low, so that's a bullish point of interest. So even on this move down, we still respected this opposing candle here. And it's a valid order block because this following candle swept a point of interest. So bullish FEG here and here. So if we run out the 50% level, we can see that price has found support there, sweeping off the low, looking for price to run higher. We do also have no wick to the high side, which will act as a strong draw on liquidity. I'm bullish for gold. Dixie. Okay, we're testing that breaker right now. We weren't able to close through the bullish FEG. We did close beyond 50% of the constant encroachment. We are testing that breaker now, which is what we can see here that we've marked out previously as an idea, was to come up, test the breaker before moving lower. So we'll see if the breaker can act as resistance here. We've also opened with a gap, so potential for price to draw lower. Using the reversal pattern here, we'll look for price to test and respect the bearish breaker. Okay. So we did get the bias correct yesterday, although we did close back inside the range. So inside to order flow, looking for a potential bearish bias. We are selling off here, testing the 50% level. That's actually the 50% of the previous day. But we have tried to sweep, that was Friday's range, sorry. I've tried to sweep the low of the previous day. We've just failed to do that. Potential we could still continue to move lower here off of this move here. I'm going to have a bearish bias for GBP. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Must be magic because we had this marked out, a sweep of the low here, looking for price to run higher, and we got exactly that. Quite a nice strong buyer's wick. Opened up today straight into a bearish FEG. So we are testing that level. So we've gone external to internal, and now we're at internal, potentially moving back to external. This sort of wick here, we're going to be wanting to look at this 50% level. So if price isn't able to continue through and invalidate this bearish FEG, then we're looking for price to come to this level and test the 50% and see how we react at that level. Rightio guys, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys always joining me for my videos. Make sure to leave those comments. And what we'll do, I think I forgot to do that gold review, so we'll jump back to that in tomorrow's video and just run over that. Okay, apologies for that, but please sub to the channel, like the video, and turn on the notification icon. We've had some activity and some new subscriptions in the last few days, which is great, so I really appreciate that. Make sure you're sharing the channel far and wide for me, guys. And then once we hit that 1,000 sub level, we can run a 50K My Funded Futures giveaway. We'll be giving away 2 50K accounts. So it's worth your while to help me get there because you'll go in the draw to win 2 50K accounts. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good Tuesday. Make sure to head over to Trade Foundry. We'll be hanging out in there today. Bye for now.